ABC 10 News at 11 starts now.
Tonight, Vice President Kamala Harris is facing criticism from local immigration advocates. Harris is on her first international trip to Guatemala as VP. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kimberly Hunt.
And I'm Lindsay Pena in for Steve Atkinson. Today, Harris told people in Guatemala who are thinking of migrating, quote, do not come. As our ABC 10 News reporter Laura Acevedo explained, she is facing backlash from several sides.
Local advocates say the vice president's messaging is tone deaf and say that those seeking asylum don't have many other choices. On her first full day in Guatemala City, the vice president with a message.
I want to be clear to folks in this region who are thinking about making that dangerous trek to the United States-Mexico border. Do not come. Do not come.
Warning Guatemalans wishing to come to the U.S. to stay home. Monday, in a joint press conference with Guatemala's President, Harris vowing the administration will address corruption in the region.
And I want to emphasize that the goal of our work is to help Guatemalans find hope at home.
Local groups criticizing her message.
And so it's appalling that this administration that spoke up against the inhumane treatment of migrants under the prior administration is repeating some of the same rhetoric.
Pedro Rios of the American Friends Service Committee says the people he's worked with on the border had no other choice.
It's not a choice that they're making lightly. It's a choice that comes with a lot of personal danger.
Harris says the administration is creating a task force to address corruption and human smuggling. In a statement, Republican Congressman Darrell Issa said Vice President Harris's trip to Guatemala was a disappointing display of partisan politics and continued denial of the border crisis that the Biden administration created and that she refuses to see in person. It simply isn't credible for her to claim our border is closed when the American people can see with their own eyes that it isn't. Laura Acevedo, ABC 10 News.
The vice president's next stop on her trip is Mexico, where she's also expected to meet with the country's president.
Here at home, county supervisors could vote tomorrow on creating a new local office dedicated to helping local immigrants and refugees. The office would serve as a hub where immigrants could receive available resources, including legal services. The plan is being pushed by supervisors Nathan Fletcher and Nora Vargas. According to the ACLU, more than 20% of San Diegans were born in other countries and speak 68 different languages. You can keep track of new developments on tomorrow's vote with our ABC 10 News mobile app. A free version is available in the App Store.
San Diego police officers placed flowers at the memorial for the married detectives who lost their lives last Friday in a wrong-way crash. The woman who caused the crash was also killed. ABC 10 News spoke to a man who said he is the husband of that woman. He gave few details, but did say that they'd been married for 35 years, and he was devastated. They plan to host a memorial in Los Angeles, where his wife's family lives. A vigil over the weekend honored the fallen officers, detectives Ryan Park and wife Jamie Huntley. The two met in the academy, and both were promoted to detectives a few years ago. CHP is still investigating the cause of the collision. And Chopper, the biker dog, shared some love with the mothers of the two police officers who died in the crash. These are photos posted on Chopper's social media pages. He attended last night's vigil that honored the officers. He gave comfort and kisses to those grieving mothers.
A grandmother has lost her life after getting caught in the middle of an illegal street race in Chula Vista. Witnesses say the driver of this Mustang, 22-year-old Alfonso Pina, was racing with another car when he slammed into this blue Nissan Altima. A grandmother and her two young grandsons were inside. Stephen Dominguez witnessed the incident. He said the doors were jammed, but he managed to get the children out.
12-year-old had blood coming down his face a lot. He was just in shock. I told him to sit down. And then there was the younger boy, the 9-year-old. He was so concerned about his grandma. I kept asking if my grandma okay, is my grandma okay?
Police say 57-year-old Martha Villalobos died in the crash. Her grandchildren were taken to the hospital with minor injuries. Police say Pina was arrested and is hospitalized with non-life-threatening injuries. He's charged with vehicular manslaughter. The other person racing avoided the crash and left the scene.
The Orange County DA says a decision hasn't been made yet on what charges the people accused of killing 6-year-old Aiden Leos will face. Police arrested Marcus Ariz and Win Lee over the weekend after getting hundreds of tips from the public. They're accused of shooting into Aiden's mom's car last month in a fit of road rage, hitting and killing the boy in his car seat. This afternoon, the DA said the loss of life was senseless.
And today we have a mom who just within hours, a mother and father, a sister and brother who buried this little boy.
Those suspects will have their first court appearance tomorrow.
A suspected gang member accused of 2 fatal shootings in Emerald Hills is now in custody. Taji Ector is accused in the fatal shooting of Kevin Spellman at Emerald Hills Park in 2016. He's also accused in the fatal shooting of Arif Abdallah on Lenox Drive in 2020. Police say Ector was arrested on Saturday by the St. Louis Police Department Fugitive Apprehensive Team, and the District Attorney's Office is currently reviewing these cases. SDG&E is working to repair equipment after an outage in the San Marcos area. It happened just before 6 o'clock tonight. It impacted thousands of customers. Right now, just over 100 customers are still without power near Discovery Street and San Miguel Drive. SDG&E says power is expected to be restored about 4 a.m.
North Park business leaders are expecting a boom in new business moving in as the state begins to rebound from the pandemic. ABC 10 News reporter Anthony Purra shows us what they say is driving the optimism.
Along University Avenue and 30th Street, there's a sense of normalcy returning to North Park. Like many neighborhoods, it was hit hard by the pandemic.
I know personally about 10 businesses that went out of business in the North Park.
Lara Worm owns a restaurant and cidery on 30th Street. She says there are empty storefronts around her business and throughout the area. Angela Landsberg is with North Park Main Street, which covers businesses for about a third of the greater North Park area. She says their group alone has lost about 20 businesses for good.
At least a dozen, maybe 15 new businesses just in our area of North Park.
But beginning last month and through the summer, a lot of new businesses from bakeries to yoga studios have opened or will open. She says that's a strong comeback. Part of the reason, she says storefronts like this one on University and 30th, which became vacant before the pandemic, received interest, but plans went on hold because of the uncertainty of COVID-19. But business ventures impacted by the pandemic are now moving forward.
I would say that just about every empty store space we have right now is either waiting on a permit from the city, waiting on a lease to be signed, or waiting for a contractor to begin work. We are going to have huge improvements coming to North Park.
Landsberg says there's optimism around wanting to open a small business as the pandemic has changed many people's habits to shop and support local, a change some think will be for good.
People are shopping small. They're supporting local.
Lara is optimistic about new shops and restaurants opening, as she says it should help her business out as well.
We really want to draw people back down and say, there is still stuff happening here.
Anthony Purra, ABC 10 News.
Now to our latest coronavirus numbers in San Diego County. The county reported 65 new cases today. That brings the total to more than 280,000 cases. No new deaths reported. In total, more than 3,700 San Diegans have died from the COVID virus, and about 60% of eligible San Diegans are now fully vaccinated. That's almost 1.7 million people. The number of people getting vaccinated in San Diego County has slowed drastically. Vaccination sites are seeing a steady decline in the number of people lining up to get a shot. With California fully opening up next week, some health professionals worry we could see problems return if vaccine hesitancy continues.
The virus hasn't gone away. It's actually gotten worse. It's changed and is now more transmissible.
Dr. Abby Olulade says that one way to reach those still hesitant is by expanding the vaccine to be offered at primary care offices. But she points out storage is still an issue since mRNA vaccines require ultra-cold temperatures.
More evidence the COVID-19 vaccine protects people from serious illness and even death. According to the CDC, people who get vaccinated are more than 90% protected against the virus, and those who do get infected typically have a milder case compared to those who aren't vaccinated. The findings are based on nearly 4,000 healthcare staffers, first responders, and other essential workers who were tested every week since December.